So today I wanted to talk about triple screens and kind of why I think they suck. I know it's probably not a great popular opinion, but we'll talk about it. Right now I'm sitting inside of this cockpit and I'm using the Samsung Odyssey. I've been using this for a few years now, and that's kind of why I think triple screens suck. And so we'll talk about it. I'm going to get this race started and we'll jump right into it. Let's see if I can get this started right this time. So, I have triple screens. I thought maybe I would like to try them and see, what the fuss was about, why some people like them better. And honestly, it was so expensive just to get the stands. So I'm running the play seat stands. Just the stands alone was roughly around $400. Um, and that's just the stands for a standalone setup. And then, you got to buy the monitors. So I went with these 32-inch Spectre 1300R curved monitors, 32-inch. It's only HD, so they're not 4K monitors or anything like that. But I thought, well, it would be good enough. Set them up, sat there with calculators, and got all the bezel measurements, everything set up just perfectly. And as soon as I got into a game, I was like, oh, I can't stand this. I mean, yes, you can run higher graphics than a headset. But quite honestly, I don't think it's that much difference. And I know it's going to seem odd to some people, but the amount of graphic fidelity that you get in these higher resolution headsets it's good enough. It's good enough for me. The problem I have with screens is even once you get the math correct, you get them set up perfectly in the middle of your field of view and your perspective, everything's perfect. It still looks warped. It still looks a little bit weird to me. The side screens is just really, really odd. And it's not even like the visual quality and the perspective is 100% correct. It's just that you're looking at flat screens. So for me, I'm so used to looking through a 3D environment that trying to understand how far away I am between me and the car in front of me, I just can't do it. I can't tell. And even when somebody's beside me, I really can't tell. I look at them and I'm like, oh, how close am I really? So I tried to do triple screens, and I tried it in iRacing based off their calculators. I tried it in Project Cars 2. I kept running into people, and honestly, it makes me understand maybe why people can't, get around in those ovals. They can't really tell where you are. So I have to wonder how many people are in iRacing, racing on monitors. They can't really see you. They can't really tell that judgment of distance. And especially in multiplayer games where you've gotta be able to judge that distance so that you can jump in there like I just did. It's huge difference if you can't tell that depth. With this, you just look, you know exactly where they are. There's no setup as far as, your screen math or anything else. It's just done. It's all there. It all works. I can get right on this guy's tail. I know I'm on his tail. I know where I am in relationship to him because I can look. I can just turn and look. Oh, that's where I am. Of course, I should look at the corner. I'm just running AI right now. I'm running pretty low so I can kind of talk and do this without much effort. The one thing that's changed entirely for me was the first time I threw on virtual reality. I understood what it was, what it meant, how good it was, and I actually my driving improved like tenfold right there, because I could see true depth. I could see the relationship between everything. It really opened up a whole new world to me, and then I went nuts. I honestly went out, bought a 1080 Ti. I've had it for a few years. Right after I bought it, they went up to like $1,400. People went Bitcoin mining crazy over them, and I got lucky. I got an open box, fairly inexpensive, and then I went and I bought this instead of the Oculus Rift. So I have the Oculus Rift as well. The clarity difference is huge in my opinion, and I'm running the graphics pretty much on high. So what I'm actually seeing through here is almost what a monitor can see anyways. Almost. The differences and the things that I hate about virtual reality, number one, this is the Windows Mixed Reality headset. I don't know how much support that's going to get in the future. It's not as popular as Oculus. It's not as popular as HTC. If I was going to buy a headset now, I'd probably get the new Oculus, because I've heard so many good things about the new Oculus. It also doesn't have the tracking devices that you have to set up, like the old one, which is horrible to set those up. You really have to have them stationary so that you always know it's set up that way and set up right. I guess you could say I'm going into the cons of virtual reality now. The other thing is the Windows headset. If you take it off, Windows decides, oh, you're taking off your headset. You put it back on. You must want it in this mode, and it puts it into a mode so that you can't use your mouse. It's the most annoying thing in the world. I hate when programs decide for you how they want to react and respond. It's the dumbest thing ever, ever, ever. So if Microsoft is listening, please stop deciding things for me. I can figure it out on my own what I want my headset directed to or not directed to. They fog up as well, which kind of goes along with the last thing I said. If you've got a headset that's fogging up and you're taking it off to clean it, and then you go to put it back on and Windows goes, oh, we see you just put this on, we're going to redirect you now. So then all of a sudden your mouse doesn't work. You're in your program, you're trying to use it, your mouse is gone. It's like, where is it? Lately also I've had issues with the headset not being recognized for some odd reason. So I have to unplug it and plug it back in and just goof around with it. And I hate goofing around with things. To me, if everything's set up, it should just work. Today I spent a couple hours trying to get everything to just work because for some odd reason, nothing was working. I walked in and my headset's not working, my Fanatec equipment wasn't working, like nothing was working in my USB ports. I don't know what's going on with Windows, but I wish it would stop deciding things and changing things and doing all of that. But anyways, the other thing is that I wish the screen door effect wasn't there, but it is there. You get used to it. Your brain kind of fills in the dots, I'm sure. The one thing I did find interesting is that even though the resolution isn't as good as a monitor, I found that all the signs were basically just as non-readable in the desktop. So if I'm looking at a marker that's, you know, at 100 yards or whatever, the 100 feet, 50 feet, those kind of markers were just as readable in the headset as they are on the monitors, which kind of surprised me because I thought, you know, maybe I would be able to see those a little better. Maybe I could see my lines better. Maybe a monitor would be better. And that's kind of why I bought them, because I'm like, if I'm going to do anything on YouTube, I'd like to be able to see what's in front of me. I'd like to be able to see these signs better, talk, see what's around me. When you're in a headset, you're pretty much engaged. Everything around you is very engaging. You're not aware of any other environment. You're just kind of stuck here, which is a positive and a negative. If I put a button box out here, if I had buttons that I needed to press, I don't know how I would do that as easily with the headset on. With that stated though, I've almost never missed a shift. Even my handbrake, I've never almost missed that. And that's kind of what's weird, is you get used to where things are, and if they're in the right spot, you shift perfect anyways. You never miss a handbrake shift, you never miss a downshift. The only other thing is, like, if you're shifting, you can get lost sometimes, and when you would normally look down at your shifter and go, oh, that's where I'm at. For gears, I have to say with the headset you can't do that. And again, you can't really use a button box very effectively. So I'm glad I didn't spend a ton on that. But I am disappointed because I spent almost $1,000 for the triple monitor setup. And like I said, it's kind of pointless to me. I just find that I'm sitting in my headset, my virtual reality headset, because I enjoy them so much more anyways. So I really wish I didn't blow that money. I wish I would have bought, another headset maybe. Maybe got the Oculus. Either way, I'm really, really glad that the games have come this far. It is mind-blowing to see that, video games have hit this point where it's no longer just a flat screen. You're no longer just playing a game on a screen. You're actually in a 3D environment, looking out at an actual car. That's awesome. And the fact that you can put in base shakers and do all this other stuff, which I have done, and I had a Next Level Racing motion rig, which is why the monitors are up so high. So I had shaking and everything else going on. And you marry that with virtual reality, and you just get lost in this. You get all the anticipation, all the sweating and the nervousness of actually driving a car, because you're just lost in the environment. And I think that's the advantage of a headset. It's just that engagement in the environment. You're just totally lost in it, which is a good thing. Either way, I think I'm going to end this now. And that's my 2 cents on virtual reality versus screens. Don't buy screens.